What's up, YouTube? Well Rested Piper here. Today, smoking some Quiet Nights by GLPs. It's a sample that I got in my Tin Society box for December, I believe. And it's actually the first English that I've ever smoked. I decided to jump in and try this after hanging out in Mel Harris's live last night. He did his giveaways for 300, 400, and 500 subs. And congrats again to you, Mel. You deserve the growth, and you were overly generous to everybody. You gave away so much. And we in the community really appreciate that. But I thought that I would take this time to do a sort of first impressions of Quiet Nights and give you my thoughts on my first experience with any kind of Latakia. And right off the bat, the first thing I noticed when I opened the bag was that distinct smoky smell. Because Latakia is a fire-cured tobacco. And it wasn't off-putting. It smelled sort of like a campfire, I guess. Similar to that. Not exactly the same, but similar. And the other thing I noticed, besides the smell, was that the cut was a lot thicker than I'm used to. Really thick shag cut in the bag is what it seemed like. So I had to break it up a little bit to get it into this cob. But after I got it packed and did the false light and then the true light, I haven't had any trouble really keeping it lit as far as I've noticed. The other big thing I notice is that despite it smelling smoky, though not nearly as smoky as something like plum pudding, which I do have a tin of, but I've never smoked. It's not all that strong in your face when you smoke it. I would say that the general smell of the smoke is a little more unpleasant than your aromatics and non-English blends. So I would say room note probably wouldn't be all that pleasant. It smells similar to a campfire. And that's the closest thing I can compare it to. It doesn't really smell like typical tobacco smoke. It smells more like campfire smoke. Which in my opinion isn't all that unpleasant. But it doesn't really taste like that. I don't get a whole lot of nuanced flavor. My palate is not all that complex. The smoke is light. It's not wet at all. The bag that I had was not wet. It wasn't dry or brittle like some tobacco can be when you let it sit out. It was at the right smoking moisture, at least for me. But I'm getting very dry smoke. vague notes of deeper smokiness in this tobacco smoke, more like hanging out by a campfire, I guess, which is pleasant. It's nice. The taste of the smoke doesn't seem to linger in my mouth as long as something like the Jolly Old St. Nicholas did. When I smoked that, which is an aromatic, I found that I sort of had that smoky, ashy aftertaste after getting it lit because it was a little challenging. This sort of just fades off into the distance as you're not smoking, which is nice. It's not too strong. So overall, I'm finding that as far as an English blend with Latakia is concerned, I'm enjoying this quite a bit. And if any of you haven't smoked any English blends yet, I could certainly recommend this as a first go. It's good. It's simple, and it's not overpowering at all. Other blends that I've heard recommended as first, English blends. If you can get a hold of it, Dunhill Standard Mixture is supposed to be good. It's still out there for now. I have a tin of it in my house. I haven't tried it yet. But the smell on that is kind of similar. Campfirey, but not nearly as strong as like the plum pudding in tin note. But overall, my first impressions of GLP's Quiet Nights is positive. I could see myself definitely ordering a tin of this and smoking it more and seeing if I really fall into it. But as a first experience with Latakia, I'm very happy. So I wanted to thank Mel and all the people from the live chat last night for the recommendations. And until then, happy piping.